All right, Chef Lucas is.
It's almost 11 p.m., but we're gonna make.
He's whipping it up. Some steaks.
This
We're
is-
hungry boy.
This is
Hungry boy.
This is ribeye. from
Ribeye.
Costco. So the first step. So these have been out for a couple hours. That's usually what you want to do. They have in room temperature. Now, another thing I would do in advance is salt it at least 30 minutes before you cook. But I'm not gonna do that because you know, it's okay. We can salt it right now. That's fine.
It's all right, folks.
So, you know, with clean hands, just kind of, just rub it in, you know, use your eyes. It's not an exact science. Just get it in all the pores. You want to salt the fat, too. That's another thing. Get it in the fat, because that's the first thing that we're going to render as well. It's the fat. Turn it over. Just use your eyes. Nothing's
getting, like, absorbed.
Exactly. That's exactly what you want. Now, we can let this sit for maybe like 5 minutes while the pan heats up, because the salt's gonna bring out more moisture, less water, you know, and then that'll be good. I would usually opt for fresh cracked pepper, but that's just not available at this time. So we're gonna settle for the pre-grated stuff. But if you can get your hands on a pepper mill, fresh cracked black pepper, that would be the way to go. Okay. Just rub that in there. Yeah, there we go. Use a little more.
I like my pep.
Alright, so we're gonna let that sit now.
Stroking the steak?
I am.
I'm barbarian.
We're gonna prep the ow, that is so hot.
It's so hot.
Yeah, it is.
Joe, show us what you're making.
I'm making something for my grandma.
Nice.
So the next thing we're gonna prepare is the garlic, because that's what we're gonna use to baste the steak. So
Alrighty.
I brought from home fresh garlic. None of this pre-minced stuff. You want it fresh.
Knife of choice.
Chef's knife. Can't go wrong.
Samsung guy.
He switched.
Not anymore,
Finally
Tippy.
switched.
Times have changed.
Yep.
Chico victim.
Not a victim. He was saved.
He was
He was saved. So a good trick. All the skin. You don't want to peel all that, right? That takes
You're
too
just on
long.
counter?
Just on the counter. It's okay.
Thank you, Lucas.
We're gonna clean it, Joseph. You act like
As long as you don't cut anything.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna cut it. We're just.
You clean the counter, right, Joe?
But did you
I
see?
did clean the counter.
Did you see how cleanly the
Yeah, it was
skin
very
came off?
clean.
Like,
Lessons with Lucas.
Just bam, and then skin comes right off. See that perfectly
Wow.
peeled garlic.
Wow, Chef Lucas.
Put that-
Where could I have learned that?
Put that to just put
Took that information away.
a little dish.
Save it for another day.
Sorry, I actually forgot to do this. We didn't want to.
The dish is really important. It has to be in a little dish. You put it in a big dish and you're...
I'm gonna start. Get a flame going. Put that on, not too hot. I'm not trying to incinerate the steak. Now this is a mistake I made before. Is you put the rag on it, and the rag catches on fire. You don't want that to happen. Is this safe to use with this? What's it
I
got?
would advise against it.
What rag will not burn this time? See, I think this was probably me, to be honest.
It was you last time we did this.
So this was probably me. And the issue is that this got too close to the actual.
Yeah, it happens.
flame,
It happens.
So,
It's a classic.
yeah. You don't even have to be on just when you start to handle it. Get all your supplies that you need as well. Tongs.
What do you got the flame at right now?
The flame is at medium high.
Medium high.
We can get that to high, just to get it up to temperature.
What are you gonna cook at?
It's not an exact science. I don't know that. Just feel it. You just gotta.
Just gotta feel it. What do you typically feel though?
Heat.
You'll run us through it then.
Heat is the primary thing I feel whenever I cook steak. So go with that.
All right, folks. We'll be back when Actually, no. We're back.
No, we're not. No, not yet. I'm gonna let
Alright.
this sit for at least.
All right, go.
Prepare yourself a grate to rest the steak as well. Between basting and after basting, you want to let it rest for at least 5 minutes. Just lets the muscles, regroup maximizes flavor. I don't know the science, it just does. Okay,
Mhm.
trust me, it just does. Yeah, so we have our garlic. Oh, we can get butter. I don't know if they have butter. They have a lot of. They like to use vegetable.
There's Land O'Lakes in there.
Where is it? Where?
Down. The drawer.
Oh, in the drawer. Perfect. Oh, see, perfect. Because for a while there was some vegetable, like spread, is what it was called.
ICBINB.
BINB.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah, margarine. But this is legit. This is the real deal. So that's a good sign. And I have this on standby as well for when you start to
Cool
bake.
beans.
Now, what I like, what you do to test this, you use a water drop.
Mmm.
You know, and you're looking for the bead.
The Latin frost.
The Latin frost. If I see, so right now it's just kind of bubbling. It's not hot enough yet. Once the water dances across it like a bead, that's when you know it's hot
And
enough.
why does explain the Leidenfrost effect?
I don't
for us.
know it. I'm not a physicist. I'm not very
Oh.
strong in science.
Well, folks, I'll explain it. Basically, when the surface is hot enough, the water goes onto the hot surface and creates a vapor membrane around the water. And it causes the water droplet to have no friction on the hot surface because it is basically engulfed in air, or basically the gas that it's melting in, and it causes it to wiggle around the pan. That's the effect, folks.
See, I know how to cook the steak. I don't know why. He knows the science. So
I know the
if
science.
any questions in the comments, I'll have him respond. So.
Exactly.
So and when I just try two things of it.
We'll see.
I suppose you could. So, first thing, oil. That's quite a bit of oil, but that's okay. So I like to cook one steak at a time because the theory, first of all, so the first steak, that side down. Beautiful. Just let that sit on there for quite some time. Let that get a nice crust on the fat.
What cook are we looking for today?
What?
What kind of cook are we looking for?
So we're gonna go for a medium rare. I usually tend to cook it towards the rare side, especially these thicker steaks, just because they're just so thick. It's hard to cook cook it all the way without burning. But it also gives you a lot more leniency that you won't overcook it.
Yeah.
So I prefer to cook with a thicker steak because it's harder to overcook with all this mass. So let that sit. Get it all nice and
Yeah, you're done and I'm focused.
take a look at that. It's okay. It's okay. A common misconception is that you can once you leave, that's it. But that's very false. You can go back and flip as many times as you want. If you pick up a side and it's gray, that's okay. You can go back. It's not a one and done deal. So the theory,
Don't get paranoid.
the theory behind cooking one at a time is that, see, I just cooked here, right? So right here is cold. I'm gonna now move this here onto the hot side, and this is gonna heat up again. So that when I flip the steak, I'm gonna go back onto a hot surface instead of onto the cold where I just was. So now we're gonna let this side, I'm gonna let this side sear, and we're gonna go back to this side once it is hot again. And again, you're gonna see this. You're gonna see there's no crust development yet. It's a very baseline, but that's okay. That's it. You're allowed to go back and forth many times. You don't have to wait once. Look at the yellowing on that, though. That's starting. That's the what's it called?
Crustification. Oh, you just...
No, you didn't see that. That was on
Yeah.
camera. It was on, it is happening.
Here we
No
go.
crust there, but that's okay.
No
We
crustification.
can bump the heat a little higher. We can go even higher. We can really blast.
So
it.
what is the crust exactly?
So it's called something effect. It's where sugars and carbohydrates in food brown. It's literally when you brown toast. It's the exact same thing when you make a toast. It's the same thing that's happening on a steak. It's browning, it's crisping up, it's creating a bunch of flavors and aromas that you won't find in just raw cooked steak or just like just plainly cooked steak like this. So get that lovely aroma and flavor with the
When are you
crust.
gonna add the butter and the garlic and all that?
So we're gonna do that after the crust is developed.
Okay.
We're gonna let it sit, let the pan cool. So this comes after some time.
Oh wow! Look at we got a crust
Start to
going.
see-
Look at
start
that!
to see the
Look at that!
crust
Fellas.
develop, and
My goodness!
we're gonna get a lot more of this ideally. So
My
this is
goodness.
we're getting, and it's still very extremely tender, but the inside is very much baked. So
He's working
plenty
wonders.
of leeway.
Now you know what Gordon Ramsay says. If the you press a steak and it bounces back, that's how you know it's done.
Bouncing back a little bit, but see, you still
There's an amount that
still
has to bounce
here,
back.
Yeah. Let that sit. Alright. Yeah, get that. We can move that back here even.
Right? Because the hotter
The
side.
hotter side, yeah. A lot of sitting and waiting.
Of course. 3 to 5 minutes, right?
About per side, yeah.
Oh, per side,
yeah,
folks.
per side. Especially with such a thick steak like this, you don't want it to be completely red in the middle.
Exactly. So any going back to the fat right now, or that's
Oh, look at that! See,
that's
instantly.
a done deal. Look at that, folks.
Yeah, no, we're gonna go back and forth at least
Look at that.
a couple more times per side.
That's incredible. So is the fat sort of like done for now?
Yeah, the fat. We could have rented it out a little bit more, but I mean, honestly, you just kind of eat around it anyways. The fat does kind of get in the way, but it's just part of the ribeye. This is what you get when you get a ribeye. Is that
Yeah.
fat? Is that this fat?
It adds a lot of flavor
It
though
does add a lot of flavor.
in the pan.
And we can also start to sear the other side. Like this is the fat, so the opposite side of the fat.
Right.
Sear that. Let that get nice and hot. Let me turn the heat down first.
Folks, make sure you have your vent turned
Oh, yeah,
on.
Turn the vent on. Like, this is a very smoky process.
If you got a sticky apartment with no vent, I'm sorry.
Probably not recommended. But you know, if you're in an apartment situation, my next solution is to buy a gas burner, like a portable one that are very cheap. You can buy for like $30 at Walmart. Throw some butane in there. Go outside onto a porch, a park picnic table, and then just throw it on. And then you're outside, and it's perfect.
Look at the crustification on that, folks. It's not burnt.
Not burnt. Not burnt.
Not burnt.
Oh yeah, no, a little more for sure.
Well, more to
We
the
have-
size.
there's plenty of-
We're keeping consistent
There's
heat here.
plenty of time for it. There's so much leeway with
Notice
this.
how the meat's a little bit more bouncy,
A little bit more, yeah. It's getting there.
getting more cooked.
Now, ideally, with if in a perfect world, you're gonna have a meat thermometer, because that's a lot
And
more.
the thermometer's right here,
It's a
bro.
lot more objective than just a feel, because every cut of meat will feel slightly different, so you can't always rely on that. But oh, look at that crust! Look at that!
Look at that crust,
Yeah,
folks.
dude, that. See,
Look at that crust. Look at the smell.
A little patient. Look at that smell. Yeah, smell it at home. Smell it at home. Smell it at home. Come real close. If you're following along at home, you're gonna smell the crust and just all the fat and the meat and the flavor, the fats. Really, would you believe that? You could.
So we're approaching.
That is.
We are approaching
almost
the
done.
end
We
here.
are almost done, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're gonna give it one more sear on these two sides on the fat side, just to crisp it up a little bit,
And then what's gonna happen?
And then we're gonna move it to this tray for it to let it sit, let it rest.
Why is
Let
it
the
important?
muscles-
Why is it so important that the steak rests?
Okay, because to my knowledge, when you cook the meat, it contracts a lot. So then, by letting it rest, you're letting it open up again and become more tender, and it helps to retain juice and all that stuff.
Yep.
Because when you cut into a meat that hasn't been cooked yet, it's still decompressing. So when you cut in, it starts to leak a lot, and all the juice is no longer in the muscle that's on your plate, and you don't necessarily want that.
Right.
That's pretty done.
That
deal.
looks
We're gonna-
spectacular,
we're gonna
folks.
take
We're
that
gonna
out.
we're gonna get a nice shot of that.
Looks good, Lucas.
Thank you.
Alright, Lucas.
All right, and then it's just the exact same thing over again.
He's gonna keep. He's not gonna clean the pan. He's gonna keep all those flavor juices.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys don't need to watch that again. So we'll be back
Yeah.
when it's done. This just is.
So we're approaching the end of the second steak. We got this wonderful crust forming on this side. I mean, and it feels just about done. So, and then we got Joseph, the man. I think he'll appreciate that more, to be honest.
He should.
Peep this side, like a tad, a smidgen more. You could say. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
What are you doing with the butter?
We're gonna, we will get there. We will get there.
Number one consumer of his food, bro. Oh my!
Yeah, let's brown it. Let's get that. Let's get the side a little bit.
It's not burnt, folks.
Not burnt. It's not burnt. It's not black. If it was burnt, it would be like black and. Oh,
He got you.
he got me too. By
Surprise
proxy.
guest appearance.
Hello.
By
Tibby, Tibby.
Tibby, soon to be Tib, soon to be David.
Not soon to be Tib.
Hopefully
Not anytime
soon. to be
soon.
Tib.
Well, you don't know how much. You don't know. You'll learn.
Do you know how much power you have?
What are you gonna tell him?
It's like telling your kid is adopted.
It's not nearly as much of a big deal as you guys make it
you
out
gotta,
to be.
you gotta tell him soon, bro.
You're definitely not adopted.
Tell me.
If he doesn't tell you, I'll tell you. Or not today.
Uncle Ion.
You can tell him, man.
Right now?
Tell you when you're
You
16.
can tell him whenever. Yeah, I'll tell you when you're 16.
No.
You're not
Alright,
ready
fine,
yet.
18.
You're not ready yet.
How about 12?
You're 12?
He's 12.
Oh,
God, goodness gracious, bruh. You're old.
He used to change your diapers.
I don't think he did.
I don't think I
When he
did.
was 6 years old, changing your
No, I'm 8 years older than he is.
You're 6 years older now.
7. You're 19. He's 12.
This is like my sister and me.
7.
This is exactly my sister and me. That's crazy. Damn, I must have been a little rascal, bro. Oh, sorry, folks.
We just
This one's supposed to make the final cut.
took it out. We took it out.
It's out.
Sit for as long as you let it cook.
No.
Yeah.
I've never done that, and you've loved my steaks.
Well, you should try this time.
It's gonna take like.
You cooked it for 5 minutes.
I'm not
That's it.
cooking for 5 minutes.
How long did you cook it?
I don't know. Check that. How long?
It's been 18 minutes. It's exactly 5 to 10 minutes on each side. That's including prep.
So 10 minutes each. Just have to wait 10 minutes. Cool. We can. I want to base it at the same time.
Oh, but I didn't include the second one.
So like 9 minutes. Like 5 minutes per side.
This is like those cartoons.
That's ridiculous.
This is cinematic.
Into the camera.
Done.
All right, folks, we're back.
Alright, so now we're gonna move on to the basting phase. So, low flame, just enough to melt the butter.
Remind us what basting is.
So we're essentially just gonna take our steaks and just bathe them in butter and garlic. And what this will do is it'll just infuse the meat.
Yep.
Just rather than rest. Infuse it. Don't mind. We're in a Home Depot right now.
Apparently.
So don't mind that. Excuse me. So, I don't want to cut. So you don't have to use this.
How
knife.
much butter are we talking?
So I'm doing. I think half a steak is
For one steak?
for both.
Or 2 steaks?
For both.
Around 2 tablespoons, folks.
About, yeah.
Are you gonna base both together?
We are gonna base both together.
Let's spread it out.
It will. I promise it will.
Now, you don't want to go too hot here, right?
No, yeah.
You don't want the butter to burn.
Yeah. You want
Butter
you
butter
want it to
can
foam.
burn,
You want it to
folks.
foam. Cause see, you see this white stuff? That's milk solids. That stuff
That's what she
can
said.
burn.
Butter can burn, and it
Yeah.
sucks when it does. So
It does
do not
suck.
burn
It
it.
does suck when it does.
What up?
So that's what she said.
No,
We heard it. It
that's
was
not a tasteful
it
use
was
of that
not
joke.
funny. It was not funny. Can concur.
Folks, look how the steak is dripping in its
So this
juices.
is a pretty crowded pan. That's okay though. Now, if you're following along at home, if you have it, I would totally recommend some rosemary, some thyme in there. I mean,
Fresh
we're not
herbs.
doing that here. We're not doing that here because we just don't have it. But you totally throw in
Fresh.
some of that right now. while
Fresh,
the pan-
folks, not that powder stuff.
Oh yeah, no, fresh. Like whole pieces. You just
Yep.
throw it in there.
Now, would that add much flavor, or is that mostly for aromatics?
Both. I mean, mostly aromatics. Not a lot of flavor.
Yes,
Most of the flavor
but-
comes from the garlic. That's
Folks, it's very important
yeah.
to have
We
your
can
food
go-
smell good
We
because
can go a little bit hotter. Do we want the?
you might want to center your pan.
We would like to do that. With the,
Make sure your pan is centered, folks. It's crucial.
Just gonna let that melt. Let the butter come up to temperature. You can already hear the butter start to sizzle, and that's a good sign. What we really want is the foam, and we'll show you what that looks like once it gets to that level.
He took some of the trash with him.
The paper towel. Not there yet. Not there yet. So one really silly thing about this pan is that there's a lot of hot spots. Like it's not evenly, the temperature is not necessarily even. So we have a pretty good layer of butter right now.
Now, Lucas doesn't take that as an excuse to fail. Just
No,
takes that
you
as a
just
challenge.
have to adapt. You just have to.
Adapt, overcome. You're never gonna have perfect.
So, hold on.
A cook will never have perfect equipment. All right.
Spoon, tablespoon, any spoon will do.
Baby spoon.
So you see this foam? That's exactly what you want. This caramel nutty brown color, that is exactly where you want it. We can turn the heat low now actually. If you don't
Oh.
want it to burn.
It's important,
This is
guys.
exactly. I'm actually gonna take
Once
it.
you get that butter going,
I'm actually
just keep
gonna
it
move
on
off
low.
move it off.
the flame.
Yeah, off the flame because we're at the perfect temperature. I mean, come in, smell this. Smell it. It smells.
Ooh,
Yeah, it smells
my
nutty.
goodness.
It smells nutty. It's caramelized. You're getting the garlic in there.
Are you gonna flip the steak?
We're gonna flip the stage. We're gonna
Yo,
flip the
wow,
stage.
dude.
Yeah, no. Well, did you not pay attention in the PPE science?
will not teach you
Yeah, exactly. So you can get a little bit of flame going back in there. The foaming has subsided, so you want a little flame. And yeah, no. Once you get a couple passes in, flip it over. Get each side.
Goodness gracious, that's a juicy looking
I know, right, look at that. All this butter and garlic, yumminess.
And the garlic just infusing. So
It
make
is
sure
infusing.
make sure the
It's
butter's just
infusing.
going over it.
Make sure all your ingredients when you have your garlic, your thyme, your rosemary. Make sure it's here. You don't want the garlic sitting up here because it's not doing anything
Right,
up here.
right.
You want to sit in the oil. Get it really infusing its flavors with the butter so that when you drag it across the steak,
And does this steak have to continue resting after this?
it does. We're gonna rest it again.
You're gonna
for
rest it. You're gonna
about-
rest it with the butter and
We're
garlic on
gonna
top.
rest- That is an option. That is an option. It really doesn't have. I mean, honestly, I think at this point it's aptly
Yeah.
it is aptly infused with the butter. So I think we're honestly great here.
Now, folks, when you're at this level of greatness, you don't want to overdo your food. There is such
No.
thing as too much seasoning and too much
So
umami.
you can let that sit for another at least 5 minutes, and then it is time to plate and serve.
Right. We'll teach you how to cut it properly.
Yep, we will.
When we're back,
Okay.
He's
See you
gonna
then. See you
clean
then.
this pan. How do you take care of this pan, by the way?
Yeah,
While we're here.
now you need to find yourself like a soda can or a cart, something that will be able to hold this oil. You don't want to dump it down the drain. It's
Yes.
not good.
Don't. You
Save
could dump
this,
it down the
save
drain
this.
if you're a devious person.
Save this. Put this on the steak.
Right. Put the garlic on top of the steak.
It's cooked. It's good. Slice a little bit of it onto your fork. Have like a sliver on it so that you get that slight kick.
Mmm.
It's not raw, but it's not all the way cooked, so you get a little bit of that.
A little bit of
kick.
crunch.
So yeah, keep it on there.
This is very bad for drains.
Yeah, no, this is just pure fat. This is
makes,
pure oil.
makes nasty things in
You
your
don't- you
drains,
don't want this going
cockroaches,
down your drain.
bugs.
Unless you're renting and you don't like your landlord, don't put this down the drain.
Yeah, if you want to have a bug infection after.
We're gonna
Put it
actually,
down the
we
drain?
can demonstrate.
So typically, you want to coagulate this or put it in a can, let it cool, throw it away in a trash can, or if you're a thug, put it down the drain.
So we have
And,
the can. Do you have a can? You can openers can open that, right? Where is the can? I want to demonstrate.
He's decanned the
So
can.
what you can do, you can take a can opener, open up the top like this, so it's easier to pour. Now, if you're using a cast iron, obviously, gloves and all that stuff. Now, I know you said don't. I know we said don't pour it down the drain, but it's better to pour it down the drain than on your counters. To pour on the counter. So you're just carefully take this, just pour it into the can. And that is how we're gonna just, you can throw that, let that cool. Oh, see? You can let that cool, throw it away in the garbage, and that's how you're gonna get rid of that. And that's okay. You can have a little bit.
Yeah.
But, you're
It's not like it's gonna kill your drains,
not
but
gonna
it's
throw
not
away-
a best practice.
You're not gonna throw away all that sludge. So we'll come back when the steak is ready to be cut.
And do you wash that with soap?
Contrary to popular belief, you can. I don't put a lot of soap because you don't want to
Yeah.
wash the seasoning away. But the reason you can't, people say you can't wash with soap, is because soap used to be made with lye, alkaline, which would eat away at the iron much more. This is almost harmless. This doesn't do anything to the iron. This is it's good. It's not the same soap that we're using
Right.
back in the 18th, 19th century. Okay. This
And
is
how do you want to
perfectly
store this
fine.
pan? Dry or?
Dry, so dry. This is iron. It's just pure iron. It will rust if it's wet. It's just iron.
I think there's also an option to oil it very lightly.
No, yeah, you could do that too. Add
it
when
away.
you're done, get it a little bit hot again when it's clean. Paper towel with some olive oil, just rub it around, and that will seal it in an encasing of oil. And
Yes.
repel the water and moisture. So
Exactly,
you could do
folks.
that.
All right, folks, we're back.
So these have rested about 8 to 10 minutes, I would say. Let me just to the side real quick.
Look how juicy. Look how juicy it
It's
is.
very juicy. Here, let's cut into it. Let's see really how it looks on the inside. It's honestly a bit of a toss-up. I'm not the most precise. We're gonna need some forks for when we eat this. Right?
Nah, we're gonna do it with a hand.
To do that.
The true way.
Now, if you're following along at home,
Right?
you have
For the folks following along at
if
home.
you have your flaky salt, now would be a great time to put that on there. You don't need to. It's just a little extra.
Yep. Kosher,
Yeah.
coarse salt, flaky, whatever you got.
Just cut it.
Open that up for us.
Ooh, that's a perfect medium
Wow.
rare. That is a perfect.
Wow.
That's pretty on the spot.
Wow.
That's a pretty phenomenal medium rare.
Spectacular. Folks, it looks pinker on screen, but it, from my side, is perfect medium rare.
That's a good medium rare, yeah.
And on the rare side, which is where you want it. You don't want to be on the cook side.
And honestly, all steaks are going to be more cooked, more rare towards the center like this, because it's in the very middle of the steak. So that's okay. That's okay.
It is pink, though. It is not red.
It is pink. It is pink.
That's what you want to pay
It
attention
is
to.
not raw. We can look at this one too.
Open it up.
That's pretty rare. That's okay though. That's okay.
That's right.
That's
That's
okay.
really
That's
nice
okay.
too.
Look at that one.
That looks amazing on camera. Goodness gracious.
Yeah. So. Let me get another slice. I'm gonna have these two gentlemen try it. Cut that off the fat. I mean, that's just how the steak is. You know what I mean? That's just what.
The way they cook the
Yeah. Alright. So, gentlemen, please take a bite. Give me your thoughts.
My goodness. My goodness.
Unbelievable.
Folks. That's phenomenal. There's so much flavor in that steak. It's tender, got a little bit of chew, but not like those bullshit steaks you get at the restaurants. Oh my god, the garlic, the butter.
No words. No words. Just pure.
The flavor in my mouth. It just feels like steak. It just
Really, it's unbelievable. What Lucas is able to do with some meat, bro. Uncanny.
Smell it.
Going in for seconds here. Oh,
Hey. You have that.
we're still connected. No. Longer connected.
Oh yeah, here. Yes. Now this looks really good. I'm not gonna lie.
My goodness, bro.
That's really good. Yeah.
That's really good.
Grab some more right now.
I'm really happy with that.
Oh, what is the other one?
You wanna taste this one?
That was a little more cooked.
Yeah, we can taste this one.
On camera, this one looks amazing. Oh, you didn't say to cut against the grain.
Oh yeah, sorry for cutting. Go against the grain.
Against the grain and on a bias. if you can.
Don't go. See how the steak is formed like this. You're not gonna cut like this. That's very foolish. You want to cut like this. You do a little bit of bias.
Oh, on a
Fascia.
bias like this way.
Oh. See, I'm not hip to that. We learn something new every day.
I think that's just for like.
Okay, there's a
Texture and aesthetics.
Yeah. So put these.
You just want layers, basically. Fibers. Now he did just cut with the grain, but like he's portion controlling us right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because we're just doing chunks.
Why is that important, by the way?
What portion control?
No, cutting against the grain.
Because it's gonna be too hard to cut with the grain. Imagine a piece of wood. You're not gonna saw a piece of wood like a 2x4, like freaking this. You know, you're gonna cut like a short piece.
Not the greatest analogy, but
I don't know. It's just what
it's
you
more.
do.
It's more about the muscle fibers. Okay?
I don't know the theory.
The grain's the direction of the muscle fibers, and you want to eat across the muscle fibers. You're cutting with the muscle fibers, you just got a lot of chewy food. It's like put a bunch of straws. You want to be chewing the straws, compressing.
The
Not
muscle fibers are very long. Like when you're cutting it across the grain, you put one muscle fiber that goes across the whole way, right? So when you cut it against it, the muscle fiber is only like this long.
exactly.
It breaks
You're
apart a
you're-
lot easier,
You're chopping through more muscle
a
fibers.
lot more tender.
A lot more tender.
Exactly. See, these guys, they know the why. I know the how to make it happen.
Which is more important?
I think both are very equally important. I think it's good to know why we do things the way that we do them.
We're gonna get a little bit of garlic in this next bite.
Oh yeah, get a little garlic. Yeah, get a little flavor in there. A little flavor
On the
time.
tongue.
I'm gonna try that.
Folks, the crush is crushed.
Let me get some. A little bit of garlic.
So the garlic bite. I'm proud
Get
of
some right here.
you. Is it everything you dreamed it would be?
Give him some. Come on.
Special guest. You know, I was doing a lot of thinking. You know.
Oh my god, the fat, bro.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Let me know how that is.
All right.
What do you think, Tyler?
Delectable.
You can slurp it.
Fantastic.
That's really good.
It's so juicy.
Ooh, I'm just gonna gnaw on this for a little bit. I could
Give it a
put two
slurp
twice.
before you.
Just kind of.
Oh, it's so tender.
I know.
You can literally suck the juices.
Delicious.
This is really good.
All right, folks, we just finished the steak. Tyler's scavenging the bits that are left. That's his reaction. Steak was spectacular.
So, again, steaks can be a very daunting dish. It's very simple once you get into it. Just
If you just follow along at home, you should be good.
if you're following along at home, you should be able to do exactly what I just did.
Exactly.
So,
And Gordon Ramsay, post a video of you following along at home.
Turn on
To
Christmas
my-
All right, folks, signing out.
thank you for watching and cheers.
Happy New Year.